topics and opinions expressed in the following show are solely those of the hosts and their guests and not those of W4CY Radio, its employees, or affiliates. We make no recommendations or endorsements for radio show programs, services, or products mentioned on air or on our web. No liability, explicit or implied, shall be extended to W4CY Radio or its employees or affiliates. Any questions or comments should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for choosing W4CY Radio.
Welcome to the Eat and Critique Show with restaurant critics Steve-O and Sophia. Brought to you by one of Steve-O and Sophia's favorite Incontro Italian cuisine and steakhouse located on the Walk in Coral Springs. Now, sit back while award-winning restaurant critics Steve-O and Sophia share with you the good, the bad, and the ugly in South Florida dining.
And we're live tonight at the Not So Bizarre Café here in Lake Worth. And this place is Kiawahi Hanani. What's happening?
This is a Monday night.
It's in here. Our guest tonight is Chef Lisa, also known as Aloha Lani. She's the chef here, and she's kind of busy right now, so we'll just talk a little bit about the restaurant. This actually was one of my favorite places in the 90s. It was called the Bizarre Café. It was.
Weren't you a baby in the 90s?
Oh, yeah. I still am a baby. But it was like my favorite restaurant in Lake Worth. I used to bring the doctors here for meetings, and it became like you couldn't even walk in. And unfortunately, it closed, and Chef reopened the restaurant. And on a Monday night, it was totally packed. It was called Bizarre Cafe because it wasn't like other restaurants. They had, like, this has more tables, but the old Bizarre used to be more couches and love seats and big cushiony chairs. The bar used to be back there in the corner. Bar's behind you now, Steve-O.
She's an incredible host, Sophia.
She is.
She's a chef.
She is.
She's going to every table, talking to the table.
She is.
I mean, she is unbelievable.
I'm gonna try to get her. Here she comes.
It's fine. So we did a tasting here.
We did an incredible tasting here.
Listen, you know what? We try to bring you these small, unknown restaurants. And this is one of them.
Definitely.
I want to help her so much because I love what she's doing. We were just bragging on you how you're the chef here and you're going over all the tables, making sure everybody's happy.
I try to. That's the fun part of the job.
And we introduced you to as AKA Aloha Lani.
Yeah, that's my new name.
We love it.
Yeah, it was gifted to me by the natives in Hawaii, on the island of Hawaii. And so I'm running with it.
She looks Hawaiian, doesn't
This
she?
is wonderful for a Monday night. Don't you think?
Yeah, that's good. That's what I said. I hope I didn't butcher it. It is.
So when we were doing our tasting, we said to each other, this is a hidden gem. So you're on a very busy street.
We are being just west of Dixie Highway. Like no one thinks about coming west of Dixie.
Right.
But when it was originally Bizarre, everyone came west of Dixie because Bizarre was here and they did such a great job. And so I'm hoping to live up to that reputation.
You're going to. I mean, for a Monday night, this is incredible. We were talking about how other restaurants that we've gone on Mondays, it's like this.
Yeah.
Usually Mondays are like that.
Either they're not open or it's dead.
Yeah.
So we're going to go through our tasting. We're going to go through the menu. We were blown away. I got to tell you. And our listeners and viewers all know we don't lie. Sometimes we're too honest. But you took a dish that I can't stand. Wait a minute now. It's your Brussels sprouts. I don't even like the smell of it. So she brings out, she doesn't know, we don't ever tell you. I got to tell you, I fell in love with your Brussels sprouts.
I'm so glad.
That is amazing.
You're not the first. We've had multiple people tell me that they don't eat Brussels sprouts, they don't like Brussels sprouts, and once they try them, they like them. The issue is that most of us grew up with Brussels sprouts being boiled to death.
Yeah.
So it's like mushy little tiny baby cabbages. So now
Yours
that
are fried.
yes, we flash fry them. They're only in the fryer for maybe a minute, if that. And then they're.
You know what? I don't live far from here. I'm going to tell you something. There's two things that I could come every day for: your Brussels sprouts and oh my God, your flatbread. Oh, I can't wait to talk about the flatbread. But I want to tell you, you can take a dish, some of them light, and turn it around and make them love it. That's not easy.
Well, we
They didn't
did.
teach us that in culinary school. So that was our first dish. And then the second, first of all, the way you plate everything is
We
so
try to
beautiful.
make it nice. Well, you eat with your eyes first, yeah.
Right.
And then also with your sense of smell. Sense of smell is very important. So, we want to make sure that we don't boil these Brussels sprouts so they smell all icky like boiled cabbage.
Everything was so beautiful. And here you are, you're trying to get the restaurant working, you're waiting on people, you're talking to people, but your plate is working.
And she's a chef too.
Yeah.
Back there running and
I come in the morning and I'll make all the sauces and make the meatloaves, make the crab cakes, and make everything else. I do. So Bob Sullivan, who he started off his culinary career at the Ambassador. He also was chef at the Breeders, Petit Bar Meat, Nando's, and then of course Chef Bob, which most people know him as Robert. He owned the Newport Café for 35 years. When I opened Ravish, he came to work for me. After a couple of days, he's like, I can't do this. It's too much for me. I'm 70 years old or however old he was. He's like, I can't do it. I'm like, can you just work with me until I get someone? He goes, yeah. Well, that was how many years ago? So when I came back from Hawaii to help Dave Matthews open his kitchen, he was my right-hand man there. And when we got bored of just doing the same food over and over again, I said, I want to open up my own place. I said, do you want to come in with me and work with me again? He goes, yeah. And I go, can I make you a partner? And he goes, sure. So he comes in and he normally runs the line. So the stuff that needs to be made right before service, like a beurre blanc sauce, he makes that. And he works the line. He does our fresh catch and stuff.
I thought I recognized his
Yeah.
name. That's
Yeah. Oh, wait.
amazing.
Actually, I think you guys did Chef Bob's restaurant, Newport Cafe.
No, we wanted to do it, but then he sold. They have a new owner.
They do have a new owner. Yeah. But he's great.
So I was testing our mics. That's all. Somebody wrote said they couldn't hear me. So we started off saying this was my favorite restaurant back in the 90s, and I was so happy you're back and that you're back on a Monday night. We started with the Brussels sprouts, then we went to the flatbread.
No?
Baked
No,
brie,
Big
Brie.
Brie. Oh my God, that's right.
which was one of their top sellers here.
Yes, I
And that's
remember
why I
that.
have that back on the menu.
That's
But
neat to
here's-
come in and have a glass of wine with the baked brie and the fruit that you have on there.
Actually, I thought, I'll be honest, Chef, I thought it was better than it used to be. I mean, I don't know what you did, but it just,
We just very a little bit more.
okay.
That's all. We just added a little bit more fruits and we do the flatbread crackers. So that's the great thing. I think that if you work with another chef, you should always be able to leave learning something. If you think that you're the best and nobody can do it better than you, then you're going to be stagnant.
Okay. Then we went to the next dish. But I got to tell you, the brie with the blueberries,
That was delicious.
that was such an
It was
incredible.
delicious.
You know, it's so cool that your artwork that you have on. I mean, when you walk in, first of all, you get this aroma that just makes you, first of all, makes you hungry. You come in, you look at the artwork on the walls. This is all you, isn't it?
Well,
Not that you did it.
no, I did not do
This
it.
is what you wanted to do.
Yeah, I wanted to be able to, I wanted it to be more of a community place, not just a place where you come in and eat. You know, I wanted to support the local artists, not only art on the wall, but we have local musicians as well.
Oh,
So
Just like the good old days.
the good old days.
And the artwork is for sale for our listeners out there. We're at the Not So Bizarre Cafe at 921
Lake
Lake Avenue, Lake Worth.
tell us about upstairs before we go into it.
Upstairs.
I heard it was.
It is beautiful. It's so pretty up there. It's more so downstairs is kind of funky with the turquoise and pink walls and the crazy artwork. But upstairs is a little bit more traditional. It feels almost like an English pub, Victorian era, beautiful antique furniture. We were so lucky that someone gave us a bookcase that was their great, 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 great grandfather's.
Wow.
So it's over 100 years old, and it's just gorgeous. We do special events up there, on the weekends up there. We have drag queen bingo, yes, book it for private event. We've already done several of those.
That's amazing.
We did an event where people made their own charcuterie board, like that they could not the food part, but the actual board part, and
Wow.
they decorated it and did the resin and everything
Oh,
else.
that's fun.
Yeah.
I want to come. When's the next one?
We have a class on Wednesday of this week that we're working with Melissa, who did this artwork here and the toucan behind me, and she did another one of my favorite pieces. And Melissa's going to be doing painting on old vinyl records, and she's doing sort of Mackay and Malka. Malka's mountains, Mackay is the ocean, so it's a yin and yang. So the mountain and the ocean.
That is cool.
You know, Sophia came down from upstairs. She said, "It is so neat up there. It's packed up there,
It's so pretty, isn't
and
it?
everybody's having such a great
Yeah.
time, which is amazing for Lake Worth. I mean, Lake Worth is not the most exciting place. This is an exciting place.
We like Worth, don't we?
Yes, we do.
Lake Worth, this is exciting for Lake Worth.
No, what's exciting is it's open again. So anybody that used to come to the Bazaar Cafe, you have to come back. She's back. She's back. I'm so happy.
Then we went to I got to explain to you.
The
We
flatbread.
went to the caramelized onion. So Sophie and I rarely take, when we do a tasting, we rarely take anything home. Even though they'll pile up the food on us. But for some reason, I take the caramelized, the flatbread. The problem is when you take a flatbread or a pizza home and you heat it up the next day, it's not the same. I got to tell you, I heated up the caramelized onion flatbread the next day. It was just as good. That is amazing.
That's awesome to
That
know.
is
Yeah.
amazing. That does not happen. We've been to some of the finest pizza restaurants and flatbread, and you reheat it the next day. It's like,
I usually just eat it cold and me too.
it was amazing. And you do other flatbreads too?
We do. So right now we have a pear flatbread, which I've done forever. The French onion with the caramelized onion,
Amazing.
that's what you had with Gruyere cheese. And then the last one that we just added on recently is like a margarita. It's made with whipped burrata. So we do
Wow.
whipped burrata, and then we bake our flatbread, spread the burrata cold on top of the flatbread, and then we have roasted tomatoes. So we get the heirloom cherry tomatoes,
Wow.
they're organic. We roast them up, and then that goes on top, and then a little bit of arugula and a little bit of a balsamic dressing.
You do everything your way.
Yes,
You
my
got-
way. That's why I have to own a restaurant, because I don't want to do it anyone else's way.
That's what makes you so good, though.
Well, Chef, do you ever have specials during the week?
Of course, yeah, we do. We have a special that we run called Cheap Date Night. Oh, so, and the way you find out about Cheap Date Night is you sign up for our email, or you go on Facebook and we'll announce it on Facebook. So Cheap Date Night typically is $50 for the couple. So you're $25 a piece. And for that, you're going to get one appetizer, 2 entrees, 1 dessert, and a bottle of wine.
Wow,
That's a cheap date.
that is
That
a
is.
cheap date.
And it's great because we do it during the week. So, you know, especially like working people or parents that have kids and, you know, maybe on the weekends they're doing soccer practice or gymnastics or whatever. And they want to go out, but they have kids. They can't spend a lot of money. They can come in here and sit in a nice environment and have a nice dinner and wine. And it feels like a special evening, even though it's a random night.
Usually dinners are $50 a piece, so for 2 for $50, and a bottle of wine
And dessert.
and dessert, and their desserts. Oh, well, good to know.
Well, you got to know what everybody's writing. Love the show. Love the show. Can't wait to try. Most of them want to know, do you do the delivery by DoorDash?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Maybe eventually we will. But I always feel like, remember how you were saying that usually the next day the food doesn't taste as well. Well, with our food, it's meant to be enjoyed here in this atmosphere. Once you put a lid on something and it starts steaming, it's then cooking different. You know, and it's the condensation is hitting the top of the box, and now something's getting wet, and so I prefer not to do that. We get people who will come in who live locally and sit at the bar and they'll order, you know, whether it be a soda or a glass of wine, and maybe they'll have an appetizer while their dinner's cooking, and then they'll take their dinner home. That's better. But once you start into delivery, I can finish the product. I have to wait for the guy to come pick it up.
Right.
And then he has to go deliver it. So he's late or he's stuck or he's lost. And so by the time you get your food, it could be cold. And I don't want that to be a representation of what we put out.
I never thought about that, actually.
Boo. Hey, we're so lazy. That's what it is.
I know.
You know, but then you do make things good.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, you can get anything you want on the menu to go.
We saw them taking the last time we were here for the tasting. I saw some people at the bar to go. They had like 2 or 3 people for that.
And we use compostable, recycled to-go-ware because we want to be nice to the environment. We recycle all of our glassware and plastics.
See,
And we don't use plastic. We use paper straws.
and that's what one question I wanted to talk to you about is you do a lot of organic.
Yes.
So if you want to go into some of that. go
So
ahead.
I always tell people that we try to do organic, you know, when we can. Every once in a while, you cannot get something. But I would say 99% of the time, we do organic produce. And then as far as our proteins go, we make sure that our proteins have lived a good life. So the chicken we use is Bell & Evans, which is the most humanely raised chicken in the United States.
You knew that.
Our beef that we get comes from North Florida. And again, it's grass-fed, grass-finished. It's
Using
not,
local farm.
It's not shipped out to Colorado or shipped back here. The fish that we get. Now, I do like to get some fish from Hawaii, and I love to get Ono in. And there's a company, the Hawaii Fish Company. And if I order the night before by 9 o'clock at night, my fish will come in the next morning, flown in fresh.
It's pretty fresh.
That's really fresh.
I'm shocked, actually.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
And then our next dish, I can't wait to get to the dessert because our listeners know how much I love key lime pie. And key lime pie is the same everywhere we go. I mean, they might have a little bit, but it's basically the same. Yours is not the same.
Nope.
I fell in love with your key lime pie. But we have one more dish, and I want to talk about some of the other dishes on here. So the huli.
Huli means turn, so it's a Hawaiian turn.
So it's a chicken.
Yeah. So we use the airline breast, the Bell & Evans Sattler cut airline breast, and that gets baked in the oven. And then what we do is we take it out and we put it on the flat top, and we do a homemade pineapple guava teriyaki sauce. And because it gets put on the flat top, it gets hot and sticky. So
That sauce was amazing.
and then coconut rice. We do coconut rice, and then we also do fresh salad that we make with the little dressing.
Anything with coconut's good.
I love coconut
So
too.
do I.
I can do everything with coconut.
Let me ask, because I know the burger. Tell us what the smash
So
burger.
the smash burger, of course, for me, the toughest thing for me, especially when you're busy, is temping burgers. So that's the way you can get away from temping burgers. It's a smash burger. It's like a McDonald's burger, like it's thin, it's
Right.
thin. Where we excel is that we do a combination of brisket, short rib, and chuck.
Whoa.
Wow.
So it's not just ground chuck. It's not, so it really has that nice mouthfeel, that good fat content, and of course bursting with flavor. We make our own sauce, which has pickle juice in it, and it's served with lettuce and tomato and onion, right? And we use red onion.
Wow, that
That
sounds
sounds
amazing.
amazing. So Steve, you wanted to know about the potato too on the
Yeah, there
menu.
was something I saw on here that it's house cooked potato crisp,
Which is a potato chip.
drizzled with honey.
Yeah.
So it is a
It's a potato chip, yeah. So crisp is an English term, and the reason why I chose to put crisp on there is that a lot of times we'll do fish and chips, and I don't want people to get confused. So it's a potato chip that we cook, and then when we take it out, we just put a little bit of salt on there, a little kosher salt on there.
That's going to be
We
one of my
drizzle it
to-go
with
items.
honey, and then we do a gorgonzola cream sauce. So it softens it, so you don't get that, like gorgonzola with cheese is kind of chalky tasting.
That's
By
gonna
adding a
be
little
one
cream
of my
into
to-go foods. And you know what? Your prices are reasonable. I'm much going to tell you that.
I think they
They're
are for
very
the quality that we use. Can you get a smash burger cheaper? Yes, but will it be brisket, chuck, and short rib? Probably not. Can you get a chicken breast cheaper somewhere? Yes, but it's going to be a Bell and Evans and a Stacker cut. No.
Now, you do your mashed potatoes. You make your own gravy.
Yes.
What's special about your gravy?
I start off by cooking a roast, like you would like a roast beef, and then that gets chopped up. It gets put into a
That
stock
takes
pot.
time.
Yeah, but the caramelized drizzle, the caramelized drippings on the bottom help make the gravy. And then I chop it up. It goes into a stock pot with onions, carrots, and celery. It cooks for a couple more hours. Take the emulsion blender and put it in, so it's naturally gluten-free.
Wow.
Because it thickens up itself. If it needs a little thickening, we do a little bit of cornstarch. So again, it still stays gluten-free.
The amazing thing is, you didn't go to culinary school.
No, it did not, but I've worked with some of the best chefs in the world.
That's obvious.
But you know what? Some of the best chefs, because we've had some of the chefs
Yeah.
that our chef did not go to culinary school. They just learned on their own.
But look at Chef Lisa's, just everything on the menu and everything we tasted. It's amazing. And you said you taught yourself a lot of it growing up.
Just by watching, and I was very fortunate that I've been married twice. I've been married to my husband now. Fortunate that I've been married twice because both of my mother-in-laws are just absolutely amazing. And my first mother-in-law, she knew that I loved to cook, so she taught me a lot of what I know. And then my second mother-in-law, it's been my mother-in-law for 36 years, she's the one that taught me how to cook in a restaurant. So I've been very fortunate that I had two mother-in-laws that I just absolutely adore.
You know what? I have to reveal something. So you know this. I got to reveal something. I'm going to tell you how good this place is. So I'm on Ozempic. I'm losing weight. It's
Good for
working.
you.
But Ozempic takes your appetite away. I am so hungry talking about this place. And that has not happened in 8 weeks that I've been on this. So I want to talk about the
The
dessert.
desserts.
You're a pastry chef.
Self-taught, but
Doesn't matter.
so when Bazaar was here originally, they asked me, I had brought in a cake for something, I don't remember what it was for, and they went nuts over it. And they said, can you make us some more desserts? And so then I made some desserts, and next thing I know, that was my job. I was making desserts every day. And then when they were too bizarre, I was doing it for them. I did it with Ivana, Duffy, RJ Gators. When Wuhan opened, I did Wuhan's dessert.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know that.
So,
And you won awards.
yes,
Remember?
I have. So my peanut butter pie has won awards, and I think it was the chocolate avocado cake won awards. So yeah.
So let me tell you something. When you do work for Bhutan's,
Yes.
he is one of the finest chefs
He's so good,
in
isn't he?
the world.
Oh
I
my
mean,
God.
he is amazing. We got to talk about the
Somebody's
desserts.
asking about the dessert.
Let's start off with the chocolate pie with the
Peanut butter pie.
peanut butter pie.
And it's the recipe that was originally invented for the original Bazaar out of the Café. And so the fact that it's the original recipe invented by me and made, here again the exact same way, it's kind of cool.
I think so.
Oh,
And you went to, like, when Bazaar closed, you went to another restaurant.
I opened, when Bazaar sold, I opened the living room. And then a lot of the chefs and most of the servers from Bazaar, followed me to the living room.
And they had, tell us about the contest that you won the,
Well, when that was the peanut butter pie.
Yeah.
When Bazaar went to some contest, I went with them. And so, but I was on my own. So it was my restaurant I was representing, but I had the peanut butter pie. And we won the Golden Skillet Award. And Bazaar was next to me. Bazaar's going, that's our pie.
no, it's chef's pie.
Yeah,
it's
it was
chef's
really
pie.
kind of cute.
the pie was, I mean, it melted. In my mouth. That was, and you know what? By then, we had so much to eat at the tasting, and I didn't want to stop eating.
Well, I was amazed at the key lime pie because it was different. Key lime's a difficult, I think, dessert. It's either too tart or too sweet. Nobody
Too tangy.
really gets
A lot of
like,
them are way too tangy.
but Chef Lisa's was different and it was perfect. Do you want to talk to us
Why
about?
is yours so different?
So, most key lime pies are egg yolks,
Yes.
lime juice, sweet condensed milk, and you pop it in the oven and bake it. Yes, I have those three in there, but then I add mascarpone cheese.
Yeah,
The
I knew it tasted
Italiano.
different.
So so it allows you to still have that lime flavor, but as you
Yes.
said, not that sharp bit.
I know that's what.
That's hard.
And everybody does it the same.
It's hard.
And I went to a restaurant here that specializes in key lime,
Right.
and I was so disappointed.
It's always either too sweet for me and it just tickles, or it's so tart that you like. And I love key lime, but yours was
I'm glad you enjoyed it. And then of course, we top it with a salted meringue.
The meringue, yeah.
Who doesn't like meringue?
No, and you hardly ever see meringue anymore. That's like,
Meringue's difficult in Florida to do.
Yes,
I'll be
it
honest with you. And it's a humidity.
Humidity. That's what we were wondering. Because some people say it's the water. You know how they say it.
oh, I know it.
The
It's
water.
the
But I
water.
always think it's the heat and the humidity.
Yeah.
So how do you do it that makes it?
I mean, again, I just, sometimes it doesn't come out as high as the other, depending on the humidity and what's going on. I will tell you that with my baking, I only use Happy Eggs. It's that brand. And they're blue and brown. And the yolks are like the color of like an orange. Like they are so vibrant. And I really think that helps too.
You think
That's
she's
the
got a
reason.
heart for this?
No, she loves cooking. You could tell. And I'm happy that she has her own restaurant like this. It's going to be very successful.
You know what? To me, it's like, first of all, every fireman in town over here they come by here all the time. But What other desserts are going to be on the menu?
Oh, we do. We have a pineapple upside down cake that we do. We have some specialty people that come in, meaning that they have allergies. So
Okay.
when they call ahead, they'll say, "Hey, we're coming in. Can you do a gluten-free?" And I'll do a gluten-free peanut butter pie for them.
Nice.
We also have tonight. What did we do? I can't remember what we did.
Coconut. We need a coconut dessert.
We do those as well. I'm trying to think what we did the other day. I want to get back the Cook Your Own s'mores because that's popular at the Living Room, so we'll probably bring that back. It was also popular at Rabbit, so we'll bring that back. But yeah, we do the pineapples on there.
What is your number one entree?
Right now, the huli huli chicken.
Really? Okay. And I want something else around here. First, we've got a great menu.
It's simple.
It's not overpowering,
Right.
but it's not too small. And I wanted to ask your crab cakes.
Yes.
Tell me what you do different.
So we do. So the first time I ever made a crab cake was when I had Boca Muse. And actually 2 of the chefs from here work here. So we were going to put crab cakes on the menu. So we put a crab cake on the menu and set it out. And this lady who was in her 90s tasted the crab cake and she said, it's got great flavor. She goes, I'm going to give you my secret to my crab cake. And I go, what is it? She goes, I bind it with butter. So basically, I do red, yellow, and orange peppers, a little green onion, a little Old Bay, and crack. No breadcrumbs inside whatsoever. I take a stick of softened butter, and I mix it all together. I form the crab cake, and it goes back into the wok to harden.
Right.
And then when it cooks, that butter melts and it gets sweet because, everyone likes strong butter.
Exactly.
So that's what I do different. And then the other thing I do different is I use a gluten-free panko on the outside. So now we have these people who've not been able to eat crab cakes in 20 years now are able to enjoy them. And I always tell people that if there's something that I can do gluten-free, that it doesn't change the quality or the flavor of what I'm trying to produce, then I will do it. But if it changes something, they're not getting it.
See, I never liked the crab
There's
cake
not a lot of
that had
color.
all that color in it. I like the pure crab.
I know.
I've never heard of anybody finding it with butter. I thought that's really
Yeah,
good.
like I said, she was in her 90s, and that was, and again, like I said in the beginning, if you think that you're the best chef or you're the best cook or, the best hostess or whatever, and you don't learn from other people that are around you, you'll be stagnant and you won't grow. And I like to learn and grow.
Tell everybody you do a catch of the day.
Yes, we do.
Tell people what that because it just says catch of the day.
It does. So it depends on what fish we get in. It could be something as simple as a snapper where we get Ono in. And then Chef Bob, as we call him, even though he's Chef Robert, but Chef Bob will do a sauce. He's done like a blueberry bourbon sauce or it could be something as simple as a lemon blanc. Yeah. And we do it with usually a grilled romaine. So we get these little tiny baby artisan romaines and we, cut them in half and do a little bit of unfiltered olive oil, a little kosher salt, and we just throw them on the flat top.
Go ahead, Sophie.
I was just wondering, so your hours are Monday through Saturday?
We're doing 7 nights a week now, just nights, 7 nights, and we're doing from 4:30 on. I think Sundays. This will be our first Sunday that will be open. I think we might open a little earlier on Sunday. And this week for our opening on Sunday, I'm planning on doing as a special our roast beef and Yorkshire pudding with mashed potatoes and roasties because owning the Red Lion Pub, everyone knows me from back then, and they love it. And we have people coming in here asking when I'm going to do the roast beef. And I said it'll be soon. So soon will be this Sunday.
I wish I were in town Sunday.
Listen to this. You guys always make me so hungry. I never miss a show. I am loving this restaurant. I am going to bring all my friends over.
Yay!
Tell us about the fish taco.
Oh, fish
You must be
taco.
looking online.
Okay, so fish taco. So that fish we have flown and we use at barramundi, which is an Australian sea bass. And I chose to use that fish because I like the quality of it, and it's nice and mild.
Oh, sea bass on a taco.
Yeah. And then we do the slaw that we do on it has like Brussels sprouts and broccoli and carrots and regular cabbage, and then we do a chipotle aioli on it and a little bit of queso fresco, and then we serve that with homemade They make them down the street. We cook them, but to order tortilla chips and a homemade salsa.
Wow.
So it's a nice little dish.
And that's a hard fish to find too. Not too many people serve it.
We have a purveyor that brings it in for us, so we love it. It's
one
nice.
of my
Yeah,
favorites.
it is. It's
So
super
mild.
clean and mild, so it takes on the flavor of whatever you're putting with it.
What in the world are you going to try to add to this menu?
Coconut.
It's such a beautiful
It is
menu.
a nice menu,
It
and
really-
it's changed since we've opened. It's changed several times. We had planned on not putting the shepherd's pie on because it's been on my menu since 1983 at the Red Lion. So we're like, we're not putting the shepherd's pie on. And people are coming in going, we've been coming to you since 1983 and you're not going to put the shepherd's pie on. So it's back on. So
Wow.
I'm going to ask how often the menu does change. Are you going to be seasonal or is it pretty much the?
I'm not going to go seasonal. I know other restaurants do go seasonal. And as a chef, I kind of like that because it's always fun to do something new. But I have found that people go to a certain restaurant because they expect a certain dish. And if they go there and that dish is not there,
Oh, that's the worst.
So for me, I would prefer just to do specials.
That's
so if I
right.
want to do a lamb special, I can do it. That's something that's new on our menu is the lamb curry. It's going crazy.
And I noticed you do a meatloaf. Everybody loves meatloaf.
Our meatloaf,
Why is your special?
our meatloaf is so light and fluffy, and then on top of it, we use a homemade gravy and homemade mashed potatoes.
Same
So-
as on the potatoes,
Yeah.
you use it on the meatloaf.
Yeah.
And you also do a vegan burger.
We do. So that comes from Molly's Kitchen, which is a small little company, and I chose to use them because their vegan burger is made from vegetables and from like mushrooms, fungus versus soy. I don't want to use Impossible Burger or Beyond Burger. I don't like that whole soy thing. I'm not saying that it doesn't taste like meat, but we don't even have artificial sweetener in here. There's no sweet and low.
You don't use stevia?
No, we don't use stevia. I use heavy cream for making my mashed potatoes. I believe in full fat and I believe in all natural ingredients. Just the way it is.
That's why the food's so good. So I had somebody actually ask me about the short.
Oh, grass-fed organic short ribs, boneless, and it's wine braised. And then when you order it, we finish it off on the flat top, and then we put that with mashed potatoes, again, our homemade gravy, and roasted veg, whatever our veg is for the day. They could be beets, they could be squash, zucchini, broccoli, asparagus, whatever we decide to roast up that looks good.
Okay, sisters. Cece, you're coming in. That's one of your favorite.
I
that's
love
my
short-
sister's favorite meal.
What's
short
that?
ribs. So after our cruise, we're coming in
Awesome.
here.
Oh,
And if,
Treat her tonight.
and if you come in on a Wednesday, Friday, or Saturday, right now we have live music.
Oh, wow.
Wednesday.
That's what I was going to ask you about, too. When am I coming back?
upstairs or downstairs?
So Wednesday nights we do the music downstairs,
Okay.
and that's
Guitar?
that's Tracy. She does that. She's amazing. And then upstairs we do the music on Friday and Saturday. Right now we have Paul Allen Christopher, who's been with me for decades, and we also have Bobby Nee on the keys on Saturday night. He's been with me for decades. So I'm very fortunate. These people have followed me from the living room to
I used
know
to go to the living room
Yeah.
after they closed there.
Sophie and I discussed this after we left. We are so happy for you. This is our 13th year doing Eat and Compete, and we want to make sure you survive. It's tough out there.
It is tough out there.
I mean, we get so, Sophie and I get so sad when we see somebody go under
I know.
because there's so much work involved.
There is.
A lot of people don't understand. Every day prices are going up. I mean, there's almost everything you use it here. People on a daily basis, prices are going up. And you try to hold prices, make it affordable.
And she uses the quality, though. I mean, not like she tries to cheapen.
No, I won't do that. And sometimes people say, "Oh, well, it's expensive," and I go, if you go into Publix, you have green wines and you have not green wines, and there's a big difference in that. And you have that choice. So I always tell people, I totally get it. If it's too expensive for you, we're so fortunate, even on Lake Avenue, that we have all these great restaurants that you can go to where you can find a price point that's comfortable for you. But I am not going to put something out that I would not feed to my own family.
Right.
So it's
Well, you can tell this is a Monday night. But yeah, I'm so happy for her.
I'm excited about the music festival. What time do they start?
So they start at 6 o'clock on a Wednesday. And then on Friday and Saturday, we did 6:30 to 9:30. And now we might even have to bump that to 7 to 10 because it's like people are coming down here, they're eating down here first. And then they're going upstairs to listen to the music, have dessert, and after dinner drinks.
Yeah.
They're dancing too.
One's danced yet, but I'm sure that's going to happen.
Yeah.
Sophie will be my.
Tell us about the wine. You have wine list?
We do. It's very small right now. We just got started, so we have really just our house wine, which is Coastal Vines. It's a restaurant only. Four Seasons, the Ritz, they all use that. So I've been using that forever. And then we just have like one step up. We are in the process of working with someone else to get more wines in and do some wine tastings.
Well, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
So there's also a drink on the menu named Chef.
Oh, that's right.
Aloha
The Aloha Lani. So when I was living on the island of Hawaii, across the street from me was an Outward Hotel, and there was a little restaurant that sat right on the ocean. And I would go over there and I would drink these pineapple martinis with a blackberry syrup. And so we recreated it here. We were just going to call it, a pineapple martini. And everyone's like, "No, you should call it the Aloha Lani since you love to drink it."
It looked beautiful.
It was delicious.
Was it?
It was. But I love pineapple too.
Yeah.
So.
Pineapple and cocoa. Yeah, how could you go wrong?
Exactly.
Let's go over your hours again. You're open 7 days.
7 days, 7 nights a week from 4:30.
Okay.
Sunday might be a little bit earlier, but we haven't determined that yet. But definitely from 4:30 on, and then we play it by ear. If busy people are here, we keep it going. Like I said, Friday and Saturday night, the downstairs tends to empty out, and everyone's just upstairs. It's kind of like a secret beach. Everyone says, "What's going on up there?"
Well, we've got about 95,000 people watching or listening right now. You can talk to them.
Well, I would just like to say Iko Mamai, which means welcome, and Mahalo Nui Loa for listening to me babble on all night. And hopefully we get to see you soon.
Tell people why it's special.
Because she's there.
Well, no, you know what? She's got such a heart for this.
I know.
Not saying to everybody,
The chef
really
is
does
special. She really is.
really hard work.
It is.
You know, I went to culinary school, they warned us. They said, it's so many hours. And when they told me to empty out the vegetable truck, I said, I'm a chef. I don't do that.
Yes, you
found
do.
out it's
You do everything.
You do everything. You really
You peel
do.
the carrots. You peel the potatoes. You chop them. Whatever needs to be done. Do I have people that help me do that stuff? Yes, because I'd rather be doing the creative end of it. But that doesn't mean that you don't do the other stuff too. And I'm here. I get up in the morning and I come here and I check. I saw what I need to do tomorrow. It's a pretty big list. So I'll be up early. And yeah. No, I won't be up that early. I'll be up at I'm one of those people that wakes with the sun, and I live right on the island. So when the sun goes up, I'm already up, and when the sun goes down, I want to go to sleep. So
But you kind of hung in Chris Fenton's circle with the rep. I mean, he is one of the finest chefs in the world. He's had 5 or 6 all different restaurants down here now that he's developed.
Well, I'll tell you why I think this place is special. Not only because of Chef Lisa and her incredible, she's an incredible chef, but this place is different from other places. It feels like you're at home. It's very, I don't know, it'd be a great place to bring a date because they have the couches, they have an incredible menu. it's just different. And I like that. You feel welcome.
It's warm when you
walk
come
in.
in.
It is.
I noticed that they came in here Saturday.
It feels comfortable. And I like that. I don't like going into stuffy places. And,
Well, they all have their place, and that's what's so great. It's nice, but any restaurant, when someone says to me, "Oh, you need to do this to be like them," and I go, "Well, why do I want to be like them?" I go, "You already have that. Why don't you want to do something different?"
Exactly.
and that's what I love about it. And I love the artwork. It just feels so good being in here.
And the music's good too.
The music's incredible. And it's going to be beautiful at Christmas.
Reggae.
We have a Hawaiian Santa in front. I can't wait to see the breakfast.
Oh yeah, we'll do all upside down Christmas trees.
Oh,
There's no
cool.
room to put it together. Upstairs we'll have a real tree, and I'm going to keep it a secret as to what that tree is going to look like. But down here, the trees will be suspended from the ceiling upside down.
You know,
Chandelier.
parking on the other side of Dixie.
Oh, it's hard.
It's hard.
Oh, we have great parking.
You've got great parking.
Talk about that too.
You can park at City Hall. You can park next to us. We have the Eco Building, the south side of the Eco Building, and then half a block away we have the Bohemian, and the Bohemian has free parking. And if there's if it's raining and you don't want to walk half a block in the rain, we're very fortunate. We have the circuit, the Lake Worth Circuit. You call the circuit, they pick you up and they drop you off here for $1. $1. $1. Even if you live, if you wanted to park, if you wanted to park at Lake Worth Beach, the circuit would bring you here from Lake Worth Beach for $1.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that at all.
Food is amazing.
I appreciate that.
I love that she's speaking Hawaiian.
I try to allow as much as I can.
I know that I'm going to be over here a lot.
Yay, we like
I
that.
know that.
I'm bringing my sisters too
Oh,
when we
she
get
will.
back from the cruise.
That'd be awesome.
For the short run.
Oh, sure.
You know what? I got to tell you. Now, what are you going to be doing for the holiday?
We're still up in the air. Hi guys. I don't think we're gonna be open for Thanksgiving. I'm not sure about Christmas yet. Every year, people
That
are
could
like,
change.
it could change. I always get people like, "Oh, please open for Thanksgiving," and then they're like, "We have a party at 10," and then we, ask our staff who wants to volunteer and work, and some of them say yes. And then the problem is that these parties at 10 end up going they dissolve because then they get invited to other people's homes,
Right.
and then I feel bad for my staff. I don't care about myself because I'd be here cooking anyway.
So it might not be open on the holiday.
We'll definitely do New Year's Eve, and we'll definitely do New Year's Day, and the day after Christmas, Boxing Day.
Are you going to have a set menu with a set price maybe?
We might do, if we do something, if we did a Thanksgiving, we would have fan favorites,
Right.
and then we would have a turkey dinner.
That's the way to do it.
If we do Christmas, we would do, again, the fan favorites, and then we would do,
As one said, you do private,
private, yes. all the time.
where you actually come to their house?
Yeah.
Wow.
I actually, when I was living in Hawaii, I actually cooked privately for the Obamas for 6 weeks.
You did? Wow.
So their whole family was down. They were staying in Lanikai. I was living in Waikiki, and I would go over in the morning,
Hey, it's managing.
And he
I went
hit
down.
that from
and I would be there, and I'd get there at 5 a.m. and get breakfast ready. And then when Stir would get out of, he would go from Stir, would go from the gym, go run the treadmill, then he'd go swim in the ocean, and he'd come back up and he'd have his breakfast, and then he'd go shoot some hoops, and then the park people would come pick him up, and he'd go golfing. So,
Did he go surfing with you too?
no, we didn't go surfing. But I did. He loved.
Oh my God.
He loved charcuterie board, so I gave him this might get this. It's going to be a funny story if you get the humor of it. So he liked charcuterie boards. He grew up in Hawaii. I had a little charcuterie board that was made look like a surfboard. All right, and it was miniature. It was a charcuterie board, and it was made out of the morning trees. So it was a morning wood charcuterie board. And I gave it to President Obama. I said, "Here you go, sir.
Oh, good God.
Something to remember us by." And he chuckled.
I'll never forget that.
No,
I think we only have a minute left.
Oh, shoot.
It
You
was
went so
like so fast.
fast.
The name of the restaurant.
Restaurant, address, hours, everything you want anybody to hear.
Not So Bizarre Avenue Cafe. We are located at 921 Lake Avenue in Lake Worth Beach, Florida. We're open 7 nights a week from 4:30. Come see us.
Wow. Amazing.
Mahalo
Thank
nui
you,
loa.
Chef.
And as we say, to say good evening, we would say aloha ahi ahi.
Oh, I
That's
didn't
what I always
say
said.
it
Aloha
right.
ahi ahi.
I didn't say it right.
Aloha.
I said aloha no or something.
Aloha nui
Nui.
means much aloha. Yeah, I think that much aloha. Yeah.
That's it for us. We'll be back with you next
Thank you,
Monday.
Chef.
Thanks
you
for
so
joining
much.
us. Thanks for all the people who wrote in. We'll see you next
Next
week.
Monday.
Yay.
Thank
God
you.
bless.
Good night.
You've been listening to the Eaton Critique Show with your hosts, award-winning restaurant critics Steve-O and Sophia, brought to you by Incontro Italian Cuisine and Steakhouse, located in Coral Springs on the Walk. Be sure to join us again next week as Steve-O and Sophia interview top local restaurant owners and chefs. Steve-O and Sophia are known for their pure honesty when it comes to reviewing local restaurants. See you next week.
Remember
Those little ones.